Hello class. Today we are going to explore a fascinating topic that we use every single day, machines. Have you ever wondered how a simple ramp helps a wheelchair user or how a pair of scissors cuts paper so easily? We will uncover the secrets behind these tools and learn how they make our lives much simpler. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to identify different types of machines, understand how a lever works, and even explain why a bicycle is a great example of a complex machine. Let's start with the basics. What is a machine? Simply put, a machine is any device that simplifies our work. We can divide them into two main groups. First, we have simple machines. These are the basic tools that usually have few or no moving parts. They work by increasing our strength or the distance we can move something. For example, a nutcracker increases the force of our hand to crack a nut. A long fishing rod increases the distance our arm moves to cast a line. Now, what happens when we put these simple machines together? We get complex machines. These are the machines we see in our daily life that have many parts working together. Think about an aeroplane, a sewing machine, or a mixer grinder. They are all made of simple machines combined to do a specific job. Did you know that the concept of simple machines is thousands of years old? Even our earliest ancestors used things like levers to move heavy rocks and wedges to split wood, helping them survive in the wild. One of the most useful simple machines is the lever. Imagine a long rod or a bar. If you place it on a fixed point, it can pivot. That fixed point is called the fulcrum. A lever has three parts: the fulcrum, the pivot, the load, the weight you want to move, and the effort, the force you apply. To understand this better, let's think about a seesaw. The fulcrum is the center pivot. The kids sitting on it are the load and the effort. By doing a simple activity with a ruler, a pencil box, and a book, we can see exactly how placing the fulcrum changes how easy it is to lift the book. It's all about leverage. Believe it or not, your own body is a machine. When you lift a bag with your arm, your elbow acts as the fulcrum. If you hold the bag close to your elbow, it's easier to lift. This proves your arm is a lever. Levers are so important that we classify them into three types based on where the fulcrum, load, and effort are located. In a class 1 lever, the fulcrum sits right in the middle of the load and the effort. Think of a seesaw or a pair of scissors. In a class 2 lever, the load is in the middle between the fulcrum and the effort. A wheelbarrow is a perfect example. The wheel is the fulcrum, the load is in the bucket, and you lift the handles. Finally, in a class 3 lever, the effort is in the middle. Tongs are a great example. The fulcrum is at the end, the load, food, is at the tips, and you squeeze in the middle. Each class has its own special use. Next time you use a hammer to pull a nail, look closely. The curved part of the hammerhead rests on the wood as a fulcrum. The claw pulls the nail, load, and your hand applies the effort. It's a class 1 lever in disguise. Moving on to other essential machines. Have you ever seen workers moving a heavy box up to a truck? They often use a sloping ramp. This ramp is called an inclined plane. It allows us to move heavy things up with less effort. Now imagine taking that ramp and rolling it up like a candy wrapper around a pencil. What do you get? A screw. A screw is essentially an inclined plane in a spiral form. When you turn a screw, you are moving it up a tiny ramp, which creates a huge pushing force. This is why screws can hold things together so tightly or lift heavy cars like in a screw jack. To build the Great Pyramids, workers had to lift massive stones very high. They couldn't carry them up. Instead, they are thought to have built huge ramps of mud and brick all the way to the top. This is one of the greatest uses of an inclined plane in history. Let's quickly cover the rest of the simple machine family. A wedge is just two inclined planes stuck together like a knife or an axe, used to cut or split. The wheel and axle is a machine where a wheel is fixed to a rod. It works in two ways. Either you turn the axle to spin the wheel like a fan, or you turn the wheel to turn the axle like a screwdriver. This gives us a mechanical advantage. Finally, there's the pulley. It's a special wheel with a groove for a rope. Its main superpower is changing the direction of force. Instead of lifting a heavy bucket straight up, you can pull a rope down to raise it. When you use multiple pulleys, you can lift incredibly heavy things, which is why cranes use them. In fancy old hotels, there was no need to carry food up and down stairs. They used a small lift called a dumbwaiter, which was just a box on a rope and pulley system. The kitchen staff would pull the rope to send the food tray up to the rooms. It was very efficient. Let's put it all together with a real-world example, the bicycle. A bicycle is a complex machine. It combines simple machines like levers in the brakes and the chain system, and a wheel and axle system for the wheels and pedals. But here's the best part. A bicycle is fantastic for our planet. It runs on our own energy. It doesn't need gas. It doesn't create smoke or pollution, and it's a healthy way to travel. By understanding the machines in a bicycle, we can appreciate how engineering and nature can work together for a cleaner world. This is amazing science. When you ride a bicycle, you can travel 3 times faster than walking using the same amount of energy. The design of the bicycle is so efficient that it beats the energy efficiency of even a bird in flight. It's one of the best inventions ever. So, what have we learned today? We've seen that a machine is simply a tool that makes work easier. We learned the difference between simple machines, which are the basic building blocks, and complex machines, which are combinations of them. We explored the 6 main types of simple machines: the lever, the inclined plane, the screw, the wedge, the wheel and axle, and the pulley. We even took a deep dive into levers, discovering their 3 different classes. Remember, from the ramp that helps a wheelchair to the bicycle you might ride, machines are everywhere, making our world work. A final fun fact for you. The very word machine has ancient roots. It comes from the Greek word mechain, which means a device or a clever way to solve a problem. And that's exactly what every machine is, a clever solution to make our work lighter and easier. Excellent work today, everyone. You've all become experts on machines. I encourage you to look around your own home and try to identify the 6 simple machines we discussed. See if you can find a lever in your kitchen or a pulley in your garage. Keep observing the world around you because it's full of amazing engineering. Thank you for your attention.